Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my video on how I was pregnant at 19 and 20. Some people might think, how is that even possible, or, you know, but I actually got pregnant pretty much right after I turned 19 and then right before I turned 21. So yeah, I'm just going to talk about how I found out and how I told my family, my boyfriend, my friends, and all of that. If you hear noise in the background, it's just my kids. But anyways, so it all started whenever I was kind of back and forth between my parents' house and my boyfriend's house. I had kind of been like staying there majority of the time, so I guess I was kind of living there. But a certain situation happened and I just pretty much moved and lived back home. And I remember a few days after I went home, I got really sick. I was very nauseous. I didn't want to eat anything. I thought I had got like a stomach bug or something. I remember just happened to go through my phone and just like click on my period app, and I just noticed that I was like 2 days late. A little bit later in that day, I was like, why is my period late? Like, I kind of just like connected the dots, and I was like, I'm nauseous, like my boobs are kind of sore, my period's a little late. So I remember getting online and looking up like some other symptoms for pregnancy, and I had a few more. I had nausea, loss of appetite I think was one. So I texted my boyfriend and I was like, you know, my period's late. I think that I should get a test. I've been really sick, you know, I think that we should just get a test just to be on the safe side, just like to know. So he ended up bringing one over that night, and I remember I read that your first morning urine is the most accurate. So I decided to wait till the next morning, and that's what I did. So the next morning comes around. I remember my dad woke me up at 5 a.m. because I'm just such a light sleeper, and I thought to myself, wow, this would be the perfect time to take the test. So I waited for my dad to leave, and I went into the bathroom, got the test out, you know, peed on it, left it there for a few seconds. And at the time I had been texting a few of my friends and just kind of letting them know, like, I think I'm pregnant and I'm about to take a test. I was talking to people because that was like the only way that I was like calming my nerves down a little bit. And so few minutes goes by and I look at it and it's positive. The whole time that I was taking it, I was just like, I know that this is gonna be positive. Like, I just had a gut feeling that I was pregnant. I don't know why, but I just felt, you know, kind of like, I know that I am. So after I got the positive, I ran back to my room. I texted all my friends back and was like, it's positive. Like, what do I do? Like, I'm so scared. Like, I don't even know what my parents are gonna say. They're gonna be so mad. And then I think I texted my boyfriend. Yeah, I texted my boyfriend and I was like, well, I'm pregnant. He actually didn't end up texting back for like a couple hours because he was sleeping, but that was like the first person that I wanted to talk to about it, you know, because obviously he was like, well, it's gonna be okay. Like, he was really positive about it. He wasn't negative at all. I think he was a little bit nervous and scared, like what my parents were gonna say. So that's the only reason why. But my best friend, she was like, well, when do you think you're gonna tell your mom? And I was like, I don't know. I'll probably have to soon because I need to get an appointment. So yeah, I think a few days after I found out, I ended up just telling my mom. I brought her to her room and I was like, hey, I need to tell you something. And then she looked all nervous and scared, and I kind of think that she knew what I was gonna say. So yeah, I ended up telling her. She kind of was crying and like freaking out. I think she was just scared and she didn't know like how to go about that. Later that day, we actually called a OB near me, and I scheduled my first appointment, and my first appointment was at 9 weeks and 5 days. They told me like the calculation of how far along I was since my last period. As far as my dad, I remember my mom, this was like probably a week after telling my mom, I remember she came to me and she was like, I think that it's time to tell your dad. Like, I can't keep it from him anymore. And he's starting to get suspicious about like why you're so sick. And I was like, please, I don't want to do that right now. And I think she had already ended up telling him, and she was just kind of trying to get me to tell him. But he ended up coming to my room like later that night, and he said, "What's going on with you? Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And at that point I had already known, like, I think he has an idea that I probably am, or my mom told him. He asked me if I was pregnant, and I said yes. And I remember he just started crying, and he was like, "Well, it's okay, you know, me and your mom, we were 21, not married." My parents were kind of in the same situation as me. I was just a little bit younger. So I don't think that they were that, you know, mad or anything. A few weeks after, they were like really excited about it. So me and my dad ended up having like a really heartfelt conversation, and we were talking about like people in our family that had gotten pregnant young, and you know how it all worked out for them. It wasn't the end of the world. And at the time, it kind of seems like it might be, but it's not. It's, you know, if anything, it's only the beginning. So yeah, that is how I told my parents about my first pregnancy at 19. And for all my other family members, I remember that my parents just, you know, kind of told them over the phone, because most of my family like lives in different state, or they are in a different, they're kind of far away. As far as my second pregnancy, I think I'm gonna do another video on like how I told everyone, because I actually ended up keeping my second pregnancy a secret for majority of the time. I told most of my family at about 8 months pregnant, so I hid my pregnancy for majority of the time. But I think I'm gonna do a different video on that. I was 20. I was just about to turn 21, and I remember I had missed my period. I think it was like 3 or 4 days late. I didn't have any symptoms, and we just decided to test, and my boyfriend and my daughter were with me. I went in, took the test, and it was positive. I think with my second pregnancy, I was so much more scared and nervous, having them so close together, and Avery had just turned 1, so I was just so overwhelmed. I didn't know what to expect with 2 kids. It's a completely different experience, and I didn't know what anyone would think. Just kind of wanted to keep it to ourselves and, you know, experience a different type of pregnancy. So yeah, I think I'll do a different video about that. But that is how I found out I was pregnant at 19 and 20. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. I might do how I hid my pregnancy and why I hid my pregnancy, or I might do meeting my daughters. I think that would be a cool video. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Bye guys.